Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my channel, Running with Scissors. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I made from spin number 5 from the Fabric Wheel of Fate. I can't wait for you to see what I made. Stay tuned. Well, from my last spin, I came up with this cotton plaid. So I had it in mind to make this dress from Simplicity 9466. And see how the plaid she has on right there across the middle, they put it on the bias. And I thought, isn't that adorable? I would love to make that. Well, I laid out the fabric, I laid out the pieces, and guess what? I did not have enough fabric to make this dress. So I was kind of disappointed. But on the other hand, I was a little bit relieved. There were 11 pattern pieces for this dress, 11. That's why they wouldn't all fit on my fabric. So then I had to rethink it. So then I thought, well, maybe I should not do a dress. I should maybe be looking at tops. So I looked through my patterns. Of course, I had to eliminate any tops that had to be made with any kind of a knit. Some of the blouse patterns were a little bit too dressy for just using plain cotton. They wanted more swishier, clingier, viscose type, even silk type fabrics. So I had to look for a top that didn't use that type of fabric that I could just use cotton with. So after looking, I came across Butterick 6895. I bought this pattern back when Hobby Lobby had their 99-cent sale and they were getting rid of all their Butterick patterns. What caught my eye was the collar. Love the collar. This is a great pattern because if you don't like a big collar, the number C, this is A, B, and C, C has a smaller collar. Or if you don't want ruffles, then view A has the same larger collar, but no ruffles. Of course, with view B, you've got the large collar and the ruffles. Well, I wanted to make this one. And also, too, there's 3 sleeves. You can do sleeveless, you can do a puff sleeve, kind of a elbow length puff sleeve, or you can do 3/4 sleeve. So you really have some options on this pattern, but I really liked what she was wearing, the sleeveless with the ruffles, and that's what I made. I am tickled to death with this. It came out so good. So let me show it to you. Here it is. Isn't it pretty? I love it. Let's just look at the back first. It has a yoke, and there's like a box pleat right here. And then you pull down the collar. Then the front, got some bust darts. The sleeves are made with just some bias binding. Now the pattern came that way. Sometimes when you make a top that has that's sleeveless, they want you to do those dreaded facings. This pattern actually called for the bias binding, but you know, if you're making a sleeveless top and you don't want to do the facings, you can go ahead and do this. But this is what it called for, which I had this in my stash. I just used that. I did have to go to Hobby Lobby to buy the buttons. I wanted navy blue buttons. And the collar. Isn't that cute? Now, let me tell you about the ruffle. I always do my ruffles on my serger. It is so fast and easy. I tried doing it on my Brother machine. It does have one of those special feet just for ruffles, but it just didn't pull it up enough. I tried it once and it just didn't ruffle enough for me. I find with my serger, I put on the foot, the ruffle foot. I disengage the knife, and there are 2 knobs I turn, and it does a perfect job. It basically takes the length of your fabric and shortens it halfway. In other words, if you took a 10-inch piece of fabric and ran it through, it would measure 5 inches. So I didn't really have to do anything but run it through. There are actually 3 pieces sewn end to end. I went ahead and hemmed them, and then I ran it through my serger and it gathered it right up, and then I just put it on. So yeah, I really like it. I only had one teensy-weensy little issue. Don't hardly count as an issue, but once you put the ruffle on, of course the ruffle is laying inside. It's laying this way. And then the back side is the side that has the interfacing on. And you put that on top, and when you sew around it, you're supposed to make sure that you don't catch the ruffle. Well, after I sewed around, right in the curve right here, some of the ruffle got caught inside. No big deal. I just took my seam ripper and I unpicked maybe a ½ inch and pulled the ruffle out of the way and then sewed it back up. And that was really the only issue I had, which I would call that a non-issue. It was very easily fixed. In the bottom, I love the bottom, the hem. So I do. I love it. You know, ruffles on a big collar may not be your cup of tea, but that's what drew me to this pattern, was the collar and the ruffle. So I will be modeling this for you in just a minute. In the meantime, let's look and see what the last fabric I have left. And it's the one I've dreaded the most. It is the fleece back twill. I have about 1.5 yards of it, and it is wide. It's 60 inches wide, so there's plenty of fabric. And I had quite a few comments, people saying to make a jacket, a shacket. I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I don't want to forget to thank Carol from So Carol for coming up with this great idea. We've been having so much fun. And if you've never seen the Fabric Wheel of Fate, you can participate too. Even if you don't have a channel, just go through your stash, find some fabric that you have been avoiding, whether it's something you got and you don't know what to make with it, or you have the fabric and you think, why did I buy it? Pick some out. Either pick, like I said, either pick out fabric that's been there for a long time, or it's just fabric you bought just because it was pretty, but you still didn't know what to do with it, and put it on a wheel, put it on a spinner, draw names out of a basket, whatever, and when you pick something, or the wheel tells you what to fix, or if the wheel picks it for you, then you have to make something with it. So I can't wait to see what I come up with this. I'm just as curious as you are. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put my new top on and model that for you. But let me tell you what you think. Have you ever made this pattern before? Do you think you would? I love it. It's probably one of my most favorite things I've made so far from the wheel. So anyway, let me put this on for you and see what you think. Don't go away.